Thank you so much. And a warm welcome to Mr. Kris Gopalakrishnan. Really honored to have him here in our midst today. Thank you so much, Kris.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so would like to very quickly pick your brains on a few things that have been niggling in our minds. So making AI work, today really focuses around a few key areas of how we're really looking at the discourse around AI. So very quickly, Kris, as is well known, you have been working at the intersection of technology, entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and so on. So if I may kind of pick your brains, you've very publicly spoken about the fact that AI has to be grounded in purpose. So, what are those, things that you see are developing around AI with purpose per se? And where are the concerns, as you can see from your lens at this moment, when it comes to looking at AI with purpose? And how do you define it in the first place? All yours.
So, see, technology is a tool. You have to use technology very cleverly so that it benefits you rather than technology using you. That's the first point I would like to make. Second, in India, we leverage technology for creating public good. So, the time, let's say, ISRO launched the satellite, the first application was to beam educational lessons to homes, right? So, we always look at technology being used for public good. So, when it comes to AI, also, I strongly believe that we need to deploy AI for organizational benefit, business benefit, as well as for benefit of ordinary citizens in India, keeping that public good in mind. And last thing I would say is, in India, we also need to look at how can we continuously reduce dependency, try and see whether we can the dependency is in some sense increasing. So how can we reduce dependency and reduce the risk to the organization, risk to the country when we deploy new technologies? That again is a purpose that has to be kept in mind.
Absolutely. So while we look at optimizing the purpose, AI with purpose, one of the interesting things that you have been doing, you've articulated how you have your work cut out for you, and we were conversing earlier as well. One of the things you've been doing over the last few years is kind of looking at brain research, and you've contributed extensively towards it. So what are those one or two breakthroughs in neuroscience that you think could be significant for the way AI could also shape up over the next decade? So any thoughts around that?
So, we can have an entire session on this
Yes.
topic because all the developments in computing happen because of us wondering about how brain works. It's very interesting. Very, very, very briefly, I will tell you. Two of the fundamental, let's say, theories that computer science is built on: von Neumann architecture and Boolean algebra. George Boole and von Neumann came up with their algorithms, etc. You can look up that based on thinking that's how the brain works. It's a logical machine, so it must be thinking in binary and separate area in the brain for storage and programming. In fact, the whole computer science industry is built on that, but both are wrong. Brain is an analog device, and the same neuron stores and processes information. But on two wrongs, we built the entire industry. Today's machine learning is built on our concept of neural networks, how brain processes information across several levels and things like that. So how do we now take it forward? Brain is 2 pounds, 20 watts of power. Now, can we create a computing infrastructure that consumes less and less power, works with sparse data? It's right now it's non-deterministic, so there is a issue of can we trust the result because it's probabilistic. So there are many things that we can do, including better materials, analog computing, quantum computing. All of these things will have impact on AI itself.
Absolutely. I think the quantum world, as they say, is going to be like a nitro booster, and it's going to be scary as well if you really look at the flip side of it.
I won't say scary, I would say understand, leverage technology with that understanding. Then there is no reason to be scary.
The reason I said scary is also because the bad actors will get their own leverage, right?
Always. See, technology will be leveraged as much by bad actors, sometimes better by bad actors than good actors, right? Today, tool of terrorism is car, right? Mow down people using a car, right? So it will always be misused. And we have to create the guardrails, we have to create the rules, regulations, we have to educate our people on effectively using technology. That's again part of how technology gets deployed.
Absolutely. So, Kris, I've been kind of thinking about this. As AI models become, more sophisticated and can really abstract, and they can be on the right cusp of creativity as well, do you still think they are merely mimicking patterns? What's your philosophical line on this?
So we still have not fully grasped, how these models work as they become more and more sophisticated, how it arrives at a particular result. The same prompt at a different time gives you a different result. The context is different. Um, so in that sense, yes, there is some, it's like a black box. But having said that, I don't believe this is the way humans think. So, I don't say, machines mimic. Um, Again, let me use an example. When we wanted to actually, you know, emulate nature and flying, now we started with flapping wings. We quickly realized that that's not going to work. So we have fixed wing planes and things like that, right? So we always use the power of machine, but we don't do it exactly how nature does, exactly how humans do. But we do understand and take some things from what humans do and then create a model then that works. It's not exactly what humans do. So I don't know whether I can say that machines will think, machines will simulate thinking. That's what I would think.
Absolutely. So, in some sense, the human intelligence is at a different plane altogether. So, what AI can do is, at best, simulate
No,
it
no.
exponentially.
So let me make it very clear. The machines are going to will become more intelligent. What I call super intelligence, not general intelligence. They are already probably more intelligent than us in certain dimensions, right? So it's for us to leverage that technology with clear understanding of how we can do it. That's the key.
Absolutely. And I think now no discussion around AI is incomplete without broaching the talent ecosystem, of course. And I think even Rahul before us spoke about that. So while India has that unique advantage, which is world renowned, we have people, we have numbers. How do you see India shaping the discourse globally around creating those lines of compassion, ethics, governance, etc.? How influential or impactful can India be in this line?
There are two questions here. One is about talent itself, and I believe that if I take the IT services industry, 5.5 million people, almost all of them will have to be retrained to leverage AI, etc. This is a disruption just like what computing was, and so we need to retrain. We need to train the larger workforce because everybody becomes more productive when they use AI. Everybody. Every factory will become more productive. So that's why this is a horizontal technology that changes everything. That means, we need to retrain people, we need to reinvent how we create our workspaces, factories, what tools we need to use, etc., etc. And the second question, and I believe this is where India can contribute to the world, is to create that guardrails that I talked about, because it's necessary for India. We are a nation of 1.4 billion people, 20% of the world's population, and we, the mindset that we have is technology for public good. So our rules and regulations are going to be based on, how can we deploy technology, safeguarding our citizens, giving benefits to our citizens, making them their life better, and making it, most important, affordable. Right? In India, if something like this has to be on a subscription model, I believe the subscription has to be 50 rupees per month or less. Right? If you can get 1 GB of data, unlimited calls, unlimited messages on the telecom link at 400 rupees month or 2,800 rupees per year, that's what makes things affordable. So we have to make sure that these technologies are affordable in India. The numbers will, of course, give you the revenues. So all of these aspects, I believe, are things that India can contribute to the world in terms of ethics, governance, data, privacy rules. How do you protect the data? How do you protect the individuals? All of these things are things that India can contribute to the world.
Absolutely, well stated. So, in about 15, 20 years from now, how do you really envisage the co-evolution of the human and the AI? What can possibly happen? Is it something dystopian at this time, or is it already happening?
Something dystopian if we let it happen, right? So if we manage the use of this technology in a manner in which it benefits humanity, I think that's what I hope will happen. Now, where will this all lead us? It's like science fiction in some sense, because I don't think we can imagine how things will be 20 years from now, 30 years from now. It'll be definitely a different world, hopefully a better world, and that's what we need to work towards. But it will definitely be a better world, a different world, clearly.
So, Kris, lastly, before anything else, as a reflection from your end. So, you've been in the front row of different eras of technology, right? So, what would be those words of wisdom that you would like to share for aspiring founders, current founders, and those working in the areas of AI research? I mean, something beyond the technical, if you could.
It's clearly an opportunity for new leadership to emerge, new businesses to emerge. If you look at ChatGPT, October 2022 is when it was released, right? And how that new company emerged and has become, I think the valuation is closing to $1 trillion or something like that, or somewhere around that range. So new leadership can emerge, and that's, I believe, an opportunity for entrepreneurs. Every business will change. That's an opportunity for individuals staying relevant, learning new skills. We have democratized coding in some sense, because using natural language you can write programs now. So leverage this technology to become better in everything that you do, including your personal task and things like that. So it's a huge opportunity, and adopting, leveraging technology for business and for personal benefit is what I would advise.
Absolutely. So we've kind of closed in on time, but since we did see how the people were clamoring for some Kodak moments with you, maybe we'll open it up for just a question or two
Sure.
before you head out. Any questions? Yeah, there's somebody in the front row. Very quickly, please.
Absolute pleasure, sir. Hearing your thoughts from a person who's made it all. So, in the news, there was a comment by Elon Musk very recently saying that there would be no mobile phones going in the future. Neuralink and the thoughts of human would just be sufficient to communicate everything to each other. So, taking the leaf from there and from whatever you said, you did mention a few things that you're very closely involved with, brain research, how coding has evolved over a period of time, and how we are taking the neural networks in
Sure.
the scheme of things. So wanted
So-
to know your thoughts about it.
So I feel the best way we can leverage this research is to look at diseases afflicting brain. Brain stimulation is used for epilepsy, for Parkinson's, etc. So that's probably the best thing that I can think of right now. Now, do you want your computer to be connected to your brain directly, and computers knowing your thoughts, etc.? we need to understand what is the purpose behind it, and natural language interface is now available. You can talk to your computer. Isn't that sufficient? Do you want to intrude into your thoughts by a machine? I don't know. So philosophically, we have to think this through. Scientifically, engineering wise, it will be possible. It will be possible. Now, do you want that to happen? I don't know. We have to think about it.
Okay, I think there's somebody from there. I think we'll just be fair. This is the last question.
Of time,
Yeah.
we have to close it. This will be the
I
last
think,
question.
yeah,
Go ahead,
we
go ahead.
may, just one last question.
Very quickly.
Please keep it brief. I think this should be the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's beyond this 5.5. 5.5 is the number of professionals working in the IT services industry. No, so those people will be still required. See, what happens in every transition, the use of technology increases, right? The number of applications that we put technology to increases, right? And so, now you can talk to your computer and all that stuff. So you will require more number of people who can understand and implement these systems in an effective, useful way. Beyond that, yes, every profession will change. Doctors will use AI, nurses will use AI. So if you run a ICU with AI, you need less number of nurses, or nurses only to attend to critical and emergency situations, even in an ICU. Routine tracking will be done by the machine. So that's what. So you have to retrain them. You have to change your processes, systems, everything. All of these things will have to happen, and that's why you need more of the 5.5 million people that you talk about, but with different skills. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think we're truly up with time now. Thank you so much. I know many of you have questions, but for another day. So on that note, thank you so much, Kris, and thank you all for being a fantastic audience. Thank you.